Hello, good evening, and how are you? This is Mary, New Life Dev 8. Kindly like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified every time we have a video. And also, please comment because your comment will help me to grow, will help me know where I need to change, what I'm doing wrong. And also, please follow me on TikTok on at Mary Omwata. So today, I had mentioned before that I grew up in a children's home. So I just want to talk about my experiences in the children's homes, what I benefited from the children's home, the life in the children's home a little bit. Number one thing that I benefited from in the children's home is that it helped me to overcome the death of my mother. My father died when I was very young, and by the way, me, I've never been affected by my father's death. That this is, I know, I have never been affected by my father's death. But my mom, when I remember my mom's death, that everything that happened with me losing my mother, sometimes it hits me. I've overcome it, so it doesn't hit me so hard. But sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, it brings me down. But for my father's death, it has never affected me. So, because maybe I think I never had a bond with my father. He died the day I was born, so I never had a bond with him. But my mother, she was there for me when I was growing up. She died when I was in a young age, though, but I had a bond with her, so that's why I think this is happening. Basically, if I can explain what I feel. So, the children's home helped me to overcome the death of my mother because in the children's home, I met children who were younger than me. They had lost their parents and they knew they had lost their parents. They knew their parents had died and they were orphans, but they were doing okay. So this encouraged me, and the instinct in me told me that you can do this, you can move on. Even if you don't have your mother, it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy life. Number two, the stories that I had from my age mates encouraged me because sometimes maybe in the weekends, during the holidays, we could sit down and we story. When I lost my mother, this is bad. I'm now okay. So this helped me to move on very fast. In fact, after the first month, when I went to the children's home, after the first month, I had already completely. I had already completely moved on from the death of my mother. That too much pain in the first month. I had completely moved on because of the children. But sometimes people tell me that that happened because I was young. I don't know. Please, we can share on that through your comments. Some people tell me that I adapted so easily because my mom died when I was young. But no, I think it was the help that I got from especially the children in the children's home. Number two, the children's home helped me not to be so bitter in life. By the way, we have orphans who are so bitter in life, even those who grew up in the children's home. But for me, it helped me because I was in the children's home, and at least some of my relatives were coming to visit me. Not all, but some. So this helped, especially my sisters. This helped to show that someone is backing me up, someone cares. Even if you're not giving the financial support, but you know how you can give the emotional support or whatever support it is. So it helped me because some children in the children's home were completely not being visited. So this helped me not to be bitter seeing this. But if I could have been at home with them, maybe I could have been bitter in some way. I don't know. They also say that orphans are hard to deal with. I don't know. But it helped me like that. Number three, children's home helped me to get educated because I was coming from a poor background. If I stayed at home, I always worry who could have educated me from primary. My mama died when I was going to grade one. Who could have educated me from primary through to college? Who? But the children's home stood with me in my education, not only paying school fee, but even I remember when we were in primary and in secondary, when we had parents' day meetings and academic days, the matrons and the house mothers, they used to come with us to school on those days. And they go from one teacher to the next teacher. And they look at our performance, even if some of them were not well educated and they don't understand well. But the teachers could explain to them and they could ask us, why are you dropping? Why are you not doing well? Last time you did like this in this subject, today you've dropped. So, there was somebody who who was supporting me through my education. And sometimes I also think if I didn't go to the children, so maybe I could have landed into early marriage. Yes, I meet a lot of girls from my village, and now some of them have 3 children, and these children, they're big children, they're not young, and some are in grade 2, and you are surprised, and because maybe when they lost their parents and they stayed, nobody took their education seriously, and they had some challenges, like, for a girl child, you need things like sanitary towels, so something trick them that if they can get married, at least the husband could cater for these needs. But then they end up to suffer so much in these marriages. By the way, girls outside there, marriage is not a solution to your problem. Even you can work hard in life and get things that you do not have. But even if you are young and you can't work hard, a man is not a solution to your answer. So they suffered, and many of them, by the way, regret. They say, I wish I could have continued suffering in my home than going into early marriage. So I think that going to a children's home protected me from this. Not that I'm saying that my relatives could have not educated me. I don't know how it could have gone, but in the children's home, we were also very so close that this there was nobody who could feed my mind with if you're suffering, why don't you can get married, you know. So it helped me to at least complete my schooling and even getting married at a mature age. Yes. The challenge that I got when I was still growing up in the children's home, I didn't know that it could become a challenge. But after, oh my God, after I was done with the children's home in my college level, I didn't know how to cook. I could wash clothes, I could mop, because those ones you were doing, but cooking and some other chores, that was hard. So people say, and people are so bad. By the way, you need to understand somebody before you speak some words from your mouth. At this age, you don't know how to cook. Surely. You don't know where I grew up in, and you just hear that she doesn't know how to cook. Maybe you come to my relative's house and you find me there, and then you hear that I don't know. And they said, So that was one challenge that I got from the children. So, but for now, I know how to cook. We can learn things, just like graduating at 23 years is good, but graduating at 30 years is also great. Some things people don't grow at the same rate. We grow at different times. I could be 30 years old, but I have not acquired what a 25-year-old lady has. So growth, it's different. But for now, I have learned that in that children's home, yeah, that is all about in the children's home. I love the care that we received from the children's home. Nobody was above the law. All of us were equal. Yeah, I love the parties that we could be organized for Christmas parties, everybody's birthday. By the way, they could not celebrate every person's birthday, but there was a month in August. We could be celebrated everybody, the children. So this was everybody's birthday party. Yeah, and it was fun. It also helped me to know that God had not abandoned me. When I was growing up with my mother, even before she died, there were some challenges that we were going through. Like, we lived in a grass-thatched house, and when the rain was raining, it was leaking. So and even we never had good food, we never had good clothes. Though my mother was trying, but later in life I realized that God had not abandoned me, because when I heard stories of other children, I said that at least mine was better. So I knew that God had not abandoned me. So it also helped me to deal. Sometimes you can even have bitterness with God. So it helped me a lot. But I loved the way we were treated in the children's home. We were shown the Christian life. That helped me a lot to grow in Christ. They try to take us out even for tours outside the children's home to some tourist sites within the nearest local area, as they tried to expose us as much as possible. And these things, they're very expensive. Yeah, Though we also have some challenges, but it is normal. Even the people who live in the mansions, they do have challenges. Yeah, but that is all. God bless you, and please subscribe. Thank you.